So, hello everyone, I'm Kamlesh Sonej, and today's date is 16th of August 2021. Okay, so today we will discuss on a topic that is on the Spring Core. Okay, like we will discuss few points about the Spring Core, and we will discuss few annotations from the Spring. Okay, that is STS. Okay, so firstly we will discuss that what this about the String Core. Okay, Spring Core. Okay, so first point we will see in Spring Core is that IOC and TI. Okay, so firstly we will say IOC. Okay, so IOC is nothing but the inversion of the control. Okay, so inversion of control means that firstly we will when we see about that core Java. Okay, like whenever we create any object in Java, then all control was up to you. Okay, like up to developer that to create the object. Okay, by using the new keyword. Okay, so here in Spring, so the control is to the both. Okay, like to developer as well, and the Spring tool suite as well. Okay, like the Spring can create the object. Okay, by using the IOC. Okay, that is inversion of control. Okay, so inversion of control means that we can create, like developer can create any object of any class, and Spring tool suite can also create an object of our class. Okay, by providing certain annotations to that particular uh, reference variable. Okay, so by that mean the STS can create the object by using the inversion of control. Okay, so this is what the inversion of control is. Okay, then the second concept we will see, that is the DI. Okay, so DI means that dependency injection. Okay, so dependency injection means like in Spring tool suite, the object of every classes that is having certain annotations have been created in the bin factory. Okay, and then in the application context. Okay, so all these objects have been present in the application context. Okay, so to retrieve that object or to get that object, to inject that object, we uses the dependency injection. Okay, so dependence, by using the dependency injection, we can get actual object at particular line at our code. Okay, like we can get the object to our reference variable. Okay, by using the dependency injection. Okay, so the dependency injection is having the four types. Okay, so the first type of the dependency injection is field dependency injection. Okay, so it uses the field variables, that is to that field variables, that is to the reference of particular any objects. Okay, so it provides the objects. Okay, like the reference of objects which have been created in the application context. Okay, so in this field dependency injection, we need to mandatorily provide the annotation that is auto wired. Okay, so whenever we pass the annotation auto wired. Okay, so it will inject, or it will inject the object from the application context, and it will provide that reference to the instance or the field of our class variables. Okay, so this is what the field dependency injection is. Okay, now the second type of the dependency injection is constructor dependency injection. Okay, so we can provide the reference of an object which have been created in application context to the to the instance reference variables by using the constructor as well. Okay, so that is what the constructor dependency injection is. Okay, so in this case we don't need to provide the annotation that is auto wired. Okay, so this is what the constructor dependency injection is. Okay, now the third type of the dependency injection is the setter dependency injection. Okay, so whenever we call the setter method, okay, of our class, then it will pass the reference variable of the objects which are present in the application context, and will provide that to the instance variables of our class. Okay, so this is what the setter dependency injection is. Okay, so whenever we call the setter method, then it will do the injection. Okay, dependency injection, so this is called as the setter dependency injection. Okay, now the fourth dependency injection is the parameterized dependency injection. Okay, so whenever we create any method, or we will pass the reference variable, that is we will pass the object to that particular method, and we will not provide that object from the user interface as well, and we will not provide that object from our main or from our method as well. Okay, so in this scenario, Spring will create the objects of that particular particular classes by using the parameters. Okay, by using the dependency injection. Okay, so this is what the parameterized dependency injection. Okay, so these were the types of the dependency injection. Okay, now we will see the few concepts, that is what is the scope. Okay, so whenever we don't provide any scope to particular class, okay, like we will not provide any prototype to the particular class, then it will be assumed as a singleton prototype. Okay, like whenever we will use the auto wired, okay, like whenever we will use the dependency injection, at that time the same objects will be provided to the multiple reference variables of that particular class. Okay, so no new objects will be created, only one object will be provided to all the reference variables. Okay, so all the reference variables will point towards the same object. Okay, the same reference variable. Okay, so this is what the singleton prototype is. Okay, and when we use any scope prototype to that particular class, then it will create new object every time when we use the annotations, that is auto wired. Okay, so this is what the difference between the singleton scope and the scope prototype. Okay, so whenever we use the singleton, then it will only pass the one object, and whenever we use the prototype keyword, that is prototype scope, then it will create the new object every time whenever we use the auto wired annotation. Okay, so now we will see few annotations in the Spring tool suite. Okay, so the first annotation is the auto wired. Okay, so we use the auto wired annotation to get that particular object from the application context, and will provide that reference variable to the instance reference variable of our class. Okay, so at that time we will use the auto wired annotation. Okay, now the second annotation is component. Okay, so when the Spring tool suite will search for any classes, okay, so it creates the objects of the every classes which are having the certain annotations. Okay, so to provide the annotation, or to make that class available for creating object of that particular class, we uses this keyword, that is we uses this annotation, that is component. Okay, so whenever the STS will find this annotation, then it will make that class available for creating the object of that particular class inside the application context. Okay, so this is what the use of the component, okay, annotation. Now we will see the third annotation, that is controller annotation. Okay, so the controller annotation is to make that class as a controller, that is MVC module. Okay, so it will make that class as a controller which is MVC. Okay, so this is the controller annotation. Now the REST controller. Okay, so REST controller annotation used to make that particular class as a REST controller. Okay, so this is what the REST controller is. Okay, now service. Okay, so we are having the controller, that is REST controller classes, and in our project we are having the multiple classes which are supportive to that REST controller, which are not actually the REST controller, but these are some classes which are supportive to that particular REST controller. So this classes is having certain special annotation, that is service. Okay, to identify that which are the actual controllers, and which are the supportive support to that particular controllers. Okay, to understand this, we have the STS has provided the special annotation, that is service annotation. Okay, now the scope annotation we have earlier discussed, that it defines the scope of that particular object. Okay, like whenever we use the auto wired annotation, so at that time to create one object or to create multiple object, to define that scope, the scope annotation is being used. Okay, now there are the few concepts, that is the application context and bin factory. Okay, so the application context is eager to create object. Okay, like it will make available the all the objects before we request to get that object. Okay, so it will make that objects created before the request. Okay, so this is what the application context is. Okay, so whenever the STS will find any classes which are having the annotations, so the STS will create the application context will be creating the objects of each and every classes, and before we request for that particular objects. Okay, so application context is having all the objects of particular classes which are having the annotations. Okay, now the bin factory. Okay, so the application context make that done. Okay, like to create that object from the bin factory. Okay, so the bin factory is lazy one. Okay, that will create the objects of the classes after getting the request. Okay, so this is only the difference between the bin factory and application context. Okay, so the bin factory will create the object after the request. Okay, now there are the two methods. Okay, so the first method is init method and the second method is destroy method. Okay, so init method is nothing but it is the post construct method. Okay, like it will be executed for sure after the constructor. Okay, like after whenever we create any object of any class, so after that constructor, like after calling that constructor, this init method will be executed for sure. Okay, so this is the post construct method, and the destroy method is pre-destroy method. Okay, like whenever that object is going to be destroyed by the garbage collector, so before that, okay, before that this destroy method is going to be executed. Okay, so this is what the destroy method is. Okay, so this was all about the some few concepts from the Spring. Okay, I hope you understand. Thank you so much.